I'd like to invite up Ms. Kathleen Cahill to introduce Jessica Hodsdon. You guys are in trouble because she has props.
And yes, you're going to. Thank you, Mr. Beck. And thank you all for coming tonight. In 2013, when David Beck asked if I would serve on a committee to establish an athletic hall of fame for Burr High School, I was excited to honor the many great athletes in our sports history, but I was truly excited for one main reason. I saw the Hall of Fame as another means of inspiring our present and future student athletes. The inductees being honored here tonight all share many qualities that contributed to their excellence. They were inspirational back in their playing days, and their legacy continues to inspire today. Many of our guests are here in support of a specific inductee as a former teammate, classmate, or even a coach. In addition to the student athletes who are serving and bussing tables, washing dishes back there, we have a table full of swimmers and a table full of field hockey players. Folks, would you stand up, girls, field hockey players? Swimmers, stand up. And the swimmers are here in support of Jessica Hodsdon. I just wanted the inductees to know that all these athletes, even the ones that are serving, they play football, field hockey, soccer, every sport. All these athletes, hundreds of them, came here earlier today to set up. There are hundreds that have participated in this Hall of Fame presentation for you today. And the ones that are here this evening, they're here for you, to hear your stories, to continue to be inspired. In the swimming world, even though Jessica Hodsdon graduated in 2009, she continues to inspire our swimmers, particularly our female swimmers. Our record board is affixed on the wall at the Lucas Pool where we practice. It was a beautiful donation by the Williams family, former elite swimmer John Sr. and his wife Eileen, both coaches in our program. They're both here tonight. This record board is 4 feet by 8 feet. It's quite large. And every time our swimmers stop to rest, that's what they see. The name Hodsdon appears quite often. Records were a motivating force in Jessica's progression. Her freshman year, she set 4 new school records: the 50 and the 500 freestyle, the 200 individual medley, and the 100-yard breaststroke, which certainly demonstrated her versatility in the water. By the end of her senior year, Jessica held 5 of 8 individual swimming records, as well as she contributed to the breaking of 2 21-year-old relay records, the 200 medley relay and the 200 freestyle relay. In summary, she set more school records than any other female swimmer in Brewer history. She was a Penobscot Valley Conference champion in the 100 breaststroke all 4 years of high school, and she is still the current PVC record holder in that event. She was twice named the PVC Swimmer of the Year. At the state level, she was equally as dominant, winning the 100-yard breaststroke in 2007, 2008, and 2009 at the Class A state championships. She was also the state champion in the 50-yard free in 2007 and the 100-yard butterfly in 2009. I'd like to share a story with you that to me really highlights her character and focus. So it's her freshman year, and she's undefeated in her best event, 100-yard breaststroke. She's a PVC champion in that event, basically has continually clocked the fastest time in the state all season long, so in short, she's kind of expected to win. So the state meet comes, and well, she gets out-touched by a senior from Deering 4 lanes over. Fast forward to 3 weeks later, Jessica and I traveled to Roger Williams University in Rhode Island as Jessica had qualified for high school in New England. Most of the qualifiers and their coaches from Maine are staying in the same hotel the night before because the meet starts really early the next day. Members of the girls' swim team from, as Dennis Kine would say, that team across the river, were staying on the same floor as us, as well as male and female swimmers from a bunch of schools from southern Maine. Well, let's just say there wasn't a lot of sleeping going on that night. I was in the room next to Jessica's, and all night long I kept hearing the pitter-patter of little feet scurrying up and down the hallway, with the occasional knock on her door and whispers, "Jessica, Jessica, are you awake?" Various doors opening and shutting down the hallway, and this went on until 2, 3 in the morning. So the next morning, I'm at breakfast, and the girls from across the river, and a whole host of other kids from Maine are dragging their feet, barely conscious, swigging coffee, trying to wake up. If they could have hooked up to an IV of caffeine, believe me, they would have. And then in walks Jessica, and as the expression goes, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and rested. We get to the pool, and it comes time for the 100-yard breaststroke, and there she is, behind her block. And who's in the lane right next to her? You guessed it, the girl from Deering who whisked the state title away from her 3 weeks prior. Her race begins, and she's in 5th place at the first turn. By the halfway mark, she's in 4th place, slightly behind the Deering swimmer and 2 others. The third 25, I'll never forget. She lengthened her stroke, and it got stronger and stronger. On the back stretch coming for home, she passes the others and hits the touch pad nearly a body length ahead of her opponents. Not only was she the New England champion in the 100-yard breaststroke, she set a New England record. She was one of only 2 swimmers from Maine to win an event in New England, and she was the only freshman in the meet to win an event. I was very proud of her accomplishment, as you could imagine, but I was more proud of her character and focus. She didn't succumb to peer pressure the night before. She didn't engage in the shenanigans. She came to race and wasn't going to do anything below her opportunity to prove she was the best. That swim was a defining moment in her career. That was the Jessica Hodsdon that showed up to race for the next 3 years and dominated the women's 100-yard breaststroke. As talented as she was as a swimmer, Jessica's focus and competitive drive could not hold a candle to her team spirit. I think most of you know there's not a lot to a swimmer's suit, not a lot of room for adornment or team names or slogans. There isn't much to those little Speedos. Just ask Dennis Kaya, he knows all about that. As he was given a boy Speedo as a gift at his retirement party. Dennis Kaya, yes, in a Speedo. I'll just let you sit with that vision for a minute. At meets, you could always pick up Jessica in the pool during warm-up, and she'd be adorned from head to toe in orange and black. I could describe it, but it's best in a picture. Here we are, folks. Black, which is spiderweb suit. Her nails are painted orange and black. She's got drag leggings on, which is typical of swimmers to warm up in, because then when they shed the leggings, they feel faster. Hers are orange and black. And what you don't see is she's got Crocs on. You know those rubber soles, those rubber shoes? One black, one orange. There was no one, past or present on the swim team, who was more proud to be a Brewer witch. And she didn't just dress like this. She'd get her relay mates in on it too. Haley knows. Haley Fleischman-Meehan is here tonight. She was part of that 200 free record-setting relay with Jessica. Jessica had the whole relay in those tights. If Jessica could have found a way to swim with a broom and a witch's hat, maybe she would have. And while her high school swimming accomplishments were numerous, she was an exemplary student athlete. She was named to the Maine Academic All-State team all 4 years, and also was ranked as a National All-American Academic, an award given to swimmers with GPAs above 3.75. Now, the young women in the audience here, you've now heard a little blip about Heather, Amy, and Jessica. You see a theme here? Outstanding students. They did their work in the classroom and meant a lot to them. They worked as hard, if not more, in the classroom as they did on the playing field or in the pool. Jessica's collegiate swim career was equally as stellar as her high school career. She swam for Bentley University, and she set 5 new school records her freshman year alone. By Jessica's senior year, she held 5 pool records at Bentley, 9 school records, and she accumulated an astounding 22 meet records. Jessica was also Bentley's first women's swimming All-American with her 6th place finish in the 100-yard breaststroke at Nationals, in 2011. All the accomplishments aside, throughout Jessica's swimming career, she had a natural, zen-like oneness with the water. To watch her swim, particularly breaststroke, was like watching art in motion. Jessica is the most decorated female swimmer in Brewer swimming and diving history. It is only fitting that she is the first female swimmer to be inducted into the Brewer Athletic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce to you Jessica Hodsdon. Give it to your mother. That's what she wants. Another picture. Right.
Thank you for that. I want to apologize, I'm a little nervous, I don't like public speaking. I just want to start by saying what an honor it is to be considered among such an extraordinary group of not only athletes but members of coaches as well. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee, the athletic director, and the community for creating and building up such a positive and inspiring program here at Brewer High. Currently, as the youngest inductee, it is amazing to read and hear about all the prior athletes and what they have accomplished, not only when they participated here at Brewer High, but also what this high school athletic program prepared them for when they graduated. With all the work that has been put into this project, I hope it continues to inspire any present and future athletes as it has inspired me. I want to first thank all of my family for all their support over the many years I participated in athletics. I'm so thankful that so many of you guys have come tonight to celebrate this with me. First of all, I want to thank my Aunt Allison and Kurt and Sorrel and Lauren, my cousins. They're the ones that pretty much got me into swimming in the first place. When I was 7 years old, I was so coordinated. I mean, I still am. I don't know what you're talking about. It's beautiful. Sports were never really my thing. I tried track. It didn't really work out, and they got me into swimming. They managed to convince me to give it a try. I first started, I couldn't make it one length of the pool without grabbing onto that lane line for dear life. Yet they kept convincing me to keep going back to practice, to keep going back to meets, until eventually I didn't need the lane line, I could make it a whole length, I could make it 20. All that encouragement, my extensive Disney VHS collection can also attest to that. I want to thank my parents for supporting me every step of the way and sacrificing their own time to help me become eventually the athlete that I wanted to be. The support of them attending every possible meet, whether it was 10 minutes away or 6 hours, meant more than words could describe. I especially want to thank my mom. The countless times she spent driving me to and from practice, almost 10 years before that. Driving, she could drive 4 hours each way in one night just to see a dual meet. She traveled halfway across the country to see me compete at nationals. And as somebody who's been on the other side, spending all those hours sitting on a ridiculously hot pool timer in the stands. I don't know how she did it. Just to watch me swim for pretty much about a minute being there for an entire day. She's been my biggest fan and supporter throughout it all, and for that I'm truly grateful. For all my teammates over the years, 2 of them are here tonight. I want to thank them for all their support and being able to count on them for every practice and every meet. Actually, I think 3 of them are here, John too. For Andrew, John, all you guys at practice, I want to thank you for always pushing me. You guys were pretty much always faster than me in practice, and for that, I would always want to out-touch you, which I think just made me a better swimmer and a better athlete. Haley, who's here tonight, you and Sarah, my #1 relay buddies, whether it was quoting Superstar or kicking butt and setting relay records, you guys always made swimming so much more enjoyable. As for my coaches, there were so many over the years that shaped me with my swimming career, but the two that I think had the most significant impact was my Bentley coach and Kathy. Part of what made me drawn to Bentley outside of the academics was my future teammates and my future coach, Mary Kay. Her dedication to the program at Bentley and her summers reminded me of Coach Cahill's dedication to the swim program here at Brewer. Even with 50 or so swimmers in the pool at one time, both coaches had the ability to work with every single swimmer and specify workouts to help them improve. I know it was a little difficult my junior and senior year. I was in physical therapy and injured, and Coach Cahill was really patient. She was really great about working around all that. She would always try to help me out, anything to keep me staying on track for my goals. Her dedication to this sport and her athletes in general was just always so encouraging to see how passionate she was about making sure we all reached our potential in the pool. For the current swimmers who are here tonight, I hope you all realize how lucky you are to be a part of the Brewer Swim program and having such a great coach to work with you. The general environment I experienced here at Bentley was always full of encouragement and support. The importance of this was not lost on me, and there is no question that the time I spent here at Brewer helped prepare me to accomplish what I did at Bentley and in everything that I do going forward. Again, thank you so much for this wonderful honor. It means a great deal to me, and I look forward to seeing how the Hall of Fame will continue to develop over the following years.